along to today's United Kingdom Talk.
From the Mirrorball studio in Royal Berkshire, this is Chris Reardon.
Hello, boys and girls. Hope you're well. The excitement is building. Remember, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not really here at the moment. This is, as they used to say on Blue Peter, in the days of the great John Noakes, Peter Purvis, and Valerie Singleton, when Blue Peter was proper. Not as it is now. Not as it is now, with all these youngsters going all over the place. That's when we had Aunty Val, Uncle John and Uncle Peter. What happened to Blue Peter? If you're wondering what Blue Peter is, if you're not here in the UK, you won't have a clue what it is. It is an iconic children's television programme that virtually everyone in the country, I think, has grown up with, unless you're over the age of 60 years old, which I'm nowhere near that yet. I just want to point that out. Blue Peter. I don't know, how on earth did we get onto Blue Peter? Oh, yes, because one of the things they used to say was, here is one I prepared earlier. Maybe they were making something out of a few old cardboard boxes. It was a children's programme, you see, and they used to show you how to have fun with basically nothing. Not like now, dear, when you have to go out and buy the latest Xbox or Nintendo or whatever for hundreds of thousands of pounds, dear. We used to have so much fun out of a toilet roll holder or the inside of a toilet roll and a few boxes and a bit of glue. Oh, yes, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I used to get high on the glue. You'd be gluing all this stuff together, sticky-backed plastic. That's this stuff, and you'd make something, I don't know, out of a few boxes, whatever. Now, what was the most famous thing they made, I think, was this Tracy Island thing from Thunderbirds. Another great children's programme. And they made this Tracy Island thing. And I'm just sitting back a bit. I don't look too relaxed today, do I? I don't want to get too relaxed. I've got my feet up here. I'm sorry. And Tracy Island. And what they would do, they'd make a bit and show you this on the television. And then they'd say, here is one I prepared earlier. And then they'd get this other item and show it to you. And it looked nothing like the thing they were trying to make. I reckon those presenters didn't actually make those items. What do you think? Especially John Noakes. He used to get it so wrong. Do you remember John? And he used to do cookery and all that sort of thing. Oh, it was fantastic. Produced by the great Biddy Baxter. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, amen. Biddy Baxter was the producer. Oh, it's great. Anyway, as I was saying, this programme is one I prepared earlier because at this moment I am at my sister's. Okay? Now, I could have had a holiday for a week, but I didn't want to deprive you of my happy, smiling face. And indeed, my happy vocal cords. I did notice there was a website somewhere where they were discussing this programme. I can't remember. It was a forum of some sort run by a guy called Jeff. And did I mention this in the last show? In the forums, he says, take a look at this guy. He's got a very good radio voice, but when you look at those eyes, you can see psychiatric problems behind them or something like that. And, of course, he's quite right. Oh, I've had psychiatric problems since the day I was born. I am quite mad. You do know that, don't you? I'm mad enough today, actually, to bring up some flowers, right? I bought these flowers up today. Now, I've got to be honest. These, they don't smell. Oh, well, lovely. Yes, they do. I've got a bunch of white, mauve and pink chrysanthemums, and they're very nice. And I bought these up today, and I thought I'll put these next to me because these usually sit next to Mum's photograph. Downstairs in the living room, I have pictures of my mum and dad, and Mum always has a bunch of flowers, still alive, the flowers that is, next to her photograph, and a candle. Now, I don't always like the candle, but the flowers are always there. And I thought, I'll just bring these flowers up to share with you today. And do you know what? There's nowhere to put them. If I put them there, you can't see them. I could put them here, right? They're just about in view. But if I put these flowers here, that is right next to the computer keyboard. And you know, this is full of water. And in it, you are asking for trouble. Absolutely asking for trouble. So I'm not. So I thought I'll get. And even behind me, I did find somewhere behind me to put them, but so I could put them up here. But they're not very. The kind of vase doesn't. See, it doesn't. No, it doesn't go onto the shelf. And besides, when I move, I just put them over there. Oh, I've dropped my bits of paper nearly. Hang on. Oh, that's it. Oh, did you see my bald spot then? I'm so conscious of that. I'm so conscious of trying to hold my head up all the time so that you don't see it, but I never remember. Never remember. Apparently you can get some of this spray on little black stuff, can't you? Little things that you sprinkle on your head and it joins up with your hair somehow. Anyway, so if I put the flowers behind me, then you can't see them anyway because I'm in the way, so I've put them over there now. And you've seen them just for a few seconds, all right? Bit of a waste of time. I'm not putting them next to my computer keyboard. That's just asking for trouble. So looking forward to going up to my sister's. Now, unfortunately, a surprise for me has accidentally been revealed by my dear brother-in-law, my sister's husband, Martin. He's got his own website, CMAR. I think it's cmar.com. Oh, he does all sorts of things on the net, selling this, that and the other, books and eBay and mugs and mouse mats. Anyway, so I'm on the phone to my sister the other night, and I was mentioning the new opening and closing sequence that we've got to the show on the YouTube side of things. Now, you remember I told you what was in that in the last show. If you missed it, did you miss it? You're probably thinking, oh, I wonder what that was then. What? No need to panic. You can always go back to the last show by going to the main United Kingdom Talk website, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk or unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and you'll find links to everything on there, okay? Forums and what have you. Anyway, so the closing sequence, basically a little bit of campery, a little bit of fun. I kind of disappear on my bicycle and there's pictures of my cats walking around and all sorts of things, but it's very jerky. The content I'm sort of happy with. Now, part of the jerkiness is, of course, because I didn't have a tripod. I love that word, tripod. I do have a tripod, but this particular day, I'd gone out on my bicycle around town, done little bits of film, brought them back, put them together. So part of the reason it's a bit shaky is because of the way I'm holding the camera. The other reason it's shaky is something to do with the video going into the computer. I don't seem to be able to get that right. I believe it's because I'm trying to kind of patch together lots of old pieces of gear, and it's kind of not working. And I rang up my sister the other day. I said, can I have a word with Martin about camera and all that business? Yeah, so I'm on my phone to Martin. I said, when I come up there, which I am there at the moment, right? Because as I say, here is one I prepared earlier. I could sit here and pretend I'm live, you know, but I'm not going to. Look, the trusting face of Chris Reardon. Would you buy a car from this man? Oh, yeah, it's all right, Governor. 200,000 miles on the clock. Oh, it goes like a dream. Good for spare parts. What, next week? Anyway, back to the story. So I'm on the phone to my sister, and Martin's come on the phone. Yes, he says. So I told him my problem. He said, well, he said, of course, you won't have that problem once you come up here. We've got your little, your birthday present next to us. I got you one of those, what was it called? A flip cam. A flip cam. And all of a sudden I heard my sister, Martin! Because she's got a very gruff voice, dear. Martin! And he's what? Don't tell him! What? Oh, you might as well tell him now. She said. I could hear my sister. Oh, I think she started throwing things at him, dear. Oh, yes, definitely under the thumb, Martin. Have you ever been under the thumb? Oh, we don't like that. We don't like being under the thumb, do we? No. So, apparently, I have a little flip cam. And I think I'm sure I've mentioned the website once. Is it flipcam.com or something like that? And this is basically, I have told you about this before, haven't I? Because I was considering getting one. A flip cam it's pouring down with rain outside. I'm actually recording this show today at 20 to 2 in the afternoon on a Saturday. It's absolutely pouring down with rain outside. Don't know if you can. Let me see if I can point this. This probably won't work. No, that's not going to work, is it? There you can see. Oh, by the way, I've got a new studio light. A new studio light, so that hopefully you can see me a little bit better. All right, whether it's going to make any difference at all. The only trouble is with all this light and that, it might start showing up spots and things on my face, which I didn't think I had. I mean, I've got the odd pimple on my bum, but I haven't got anything on my face at the moment, I'm quite pleased to say. Anyway, back to the story. Yes, so they've bought me this new flip cam, and it's like an Instamatic. It's almost like an Instamatic video camera, point and shoot. It's got a 2x zoom thing on it. But I have a feeling this is the sort of thing I want at least to start with, because I'd love to do it all kind of professionally. I have so many ideas doing different things in my mind, and they never really come to fruition. Really, I suppose at my age now, I should have gathered together, I don't know, a team of people where we could all work together, and I'd come up, right, here's the idea, I want you to do this, this and this, and then it would happen. A friend of mine, Dave Lynn, who's been in a few TV programmes, and he was in the film Beautiful Thing. I don't know if you knew that, Dave Lynn. And he was saying the other week, which I think I mentioned, that he reckons I should have gone into production at some point and started producing things, as well as now and again maybe fronting them like this. But often I can see a show and I think to myself, well, that needs that, and that needs that, and that needs that. We are actually having a talent show at one of the venues I work at soon, the Two Brewers, which is in Clapham. And that will involve people, it's actually called Drag Idol. And people who want to do things on the stage, such as drag and singing, and I think they allow singing as well now. They come on the stage, hopefully 3 or 4 of them, they perform, some judges will then vote on them. Oh, I've dropped my pen. There's another one here, 1 minute. That's better, I'll pick that up later. They come and do their little act, and then 3 judges at the front tell them what they think, and the most popular one goes through to a grand final, which is usually a no mean place, you know. It's usually somewhere like Leicester Square or something like that. So I'm quite looking forward to doing that. I did ask Dave if I could be one of the judges now. Because it's a little bit difficult, really, because obviously I'm pushing the buttons for the acts as well, and, you know, making the lights come on and off and playing their music and what have you. But I would like to be a judge as well, kind of a technical judge. So I don't find it necessary to be nasty to anyone, especially, you know, when they've put their all effort has been put into the 3 or 4 minutes of time on the stage. The last thing you want to do is, you're really rubbish, get off, give it up now. I think that's awful. You can be more constructive. You can be more constructive. And I don't think sometimes some of the things you could say to someone is, well, I don't think you're ever going to be a pop star, but do you enjoy singing? And perhaps they would say yes. And then you would say, how about hosting a karaoke night? There's plenty of people who can hold a tune in key. I hope you don't mind me saying, but I think one of those, I have sung you 1 or 2 little songs in the past, haven't you? Huh? Haven't I? And I think they're generally in key. But I'm never going to be on the West End stage or a pop star or something like that. I hold together a karaoke night. That's what I do, and I fully accept that. I know that's my place. That's my place. This little video thing, you know, maybe it's not for television or anything like that, but it's a little thing on YouTube I do 3 times a week, and maybe that's my place. I'm not sure with that. I'm not actually sure with that. And the same with the radio show, okay? Maybe the radio show belongs as a little podcast that a few select people like to listen to. Maybe that's as far as it goes. I kind of think to myself, really, I've been doing this quite a long time now, since October 2005. As you'll know, if you look at the main United Kingdom Talk website, the shows do go right the way back to October 2005. And I kind of think to myself, well, if someone... So I kind of think to myself, someone high up in radio or maybe even video now with the YouTube things, because I've done so many of them now, and quite a lot of people have watched them, even perhaps just one. Even people have watched just one video or listened to one show. Quite a lot, as a whole, quite a lot of people have now seen or heard. And out of those people, there surely has to have been one or two, maybe radio management or something like that. There has to be one or two, and they didn't you didn't kind of get picked up by anyone, or even the video thing. You didn't really get picked up by anyone in all that time. So maybe this is the limit to what I do, which is fine. I mean, it's fine. It really is. I'd like to do really one of these 5 days a week. I really would. But unfortunately, that would take a lot of time. It does take a lot of time doing all this sort of stuff. And material-wise, well, you'd have to do a little bit more preparation than what's done at the moment. I mean, I don't just sit here and do nothing. I've got all these bits of paper in front of me here. And the funny thing is, as I've said before, you know, I've got all this stuff. I suppose I'll only get past the first couple, because then I just forget, or just start chatting on and on about something else. So maybe the little stations I'm on now and the little YouTube thing, maybe that's my look like where I belong, that bit there. Similarly, with some of the people who are going to be in competition, I can kind of watch these people, and I can say who. I mean, I'm not always right, okay, but I could say who perhaps is a karaoke singer, who is a cabaret singer, and who is a pop singer. And they're all very different. Not necessarily the guy or the girl who's the pop singer may not be able to be a very good singer on the stage. Might be fantastic in videos. But what happens when you put these people on a stage in front of real people? Some of them can't do it. I think you've got to be really talented to have an all-round thing and do everything. I think probably you've got more talent if you can do lots of things rather than just one thing very well. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. I don't know. Now, there's an email address to the programme. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, right? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. And as I say, so I've got a new gadget waiting for me at my sister's, and I can guarantee you that I will be trying it out up there. Now, the good news is I don't think I'm going to have to pick up the instruction book, because my nephew, Jimmy, 11 years old, has one already of these gadgets, a flip cam. Is it a flip phone? Not a flip phone, a flip cam. And I'm sure there's a website, Flip, F-L-I-P, cam, okay? Flip phone. He's already got one of these things. So, and of course, little boy, 11 years old, new gadget, he will know how to work it from top to bottom. We know that, don't we? Eh? So I'm quite pleased I shan't have to get out the instruction book, and we'll try and do a few little films and bits and pieces while we're up there. It's all very exciting. And I have decided to take my recording gadgets. There it is. There it is. Minus microphone. Oh, well, I want to put my microphone on there. It's very good, this, my recording gadget. I've had this quite a while now. Do you remember when I bought this? To do outside bits and pieces, and the microphone just clips on the top of that, and you talk to it. It's fantastic. You get a little meter on the front. Hang on, let me just bring this up there. You might be able to see that, I don't know. You get a little readout on the front there, and it does very high quality sound, so I'll probably be taking this up there and using it. I wasn't going to, because sometimes you find when you bring up I know this is pleasure for me to do this rather than work, but sometimes you find when you take things up like that, recording equipment, and then you spend a lot of the time trying to make perhaps a radio show or a video show, rather than enjoying the company of my sister and nephews. But we'll see. I'll probably do a couple of little bits and pieces up there, so very much looking forward to that. And also looking forward to taking my nephew, Jimmy again, 11, to the cinema. Because always, when I go up and visit my sister, I always like to take my nephew to the cinema. I've got no idea what's on at the moment up there. And he's got the most fantastic little cinema up there that I always give a mention to. It's the Kinema, Kinema. I think that's right, Kinema. Kinema, yeah. Kinema in the Woods. That's what it's called. Have a look on the internet if you want for that. Kinema in the Woods, and that's in Woodhall Spa, and that's where we'll be going. It's this old cinema, and it's just fantastic in there. Very, very old-fashioned. So hopefully we'll go out there. Now, the jogging thing, remember, because I usually go jogging, I keep that going while I'm up there. Well, if you've been listening to the last couple of shows, I have stopped jogging for the moment. Because I'm just fed up running against the clock all the time. Never ever have enough hours in the day. And I said to you last time, didn't I? Even now with the Wednesday night off, I'm still finding myself pushing for time all the time. Pushing for time. So the jogging, I shan't do that while I'm up there. But they do have a very nice woodland area. You know, I really like forests, especially I live around here. And it's very nice. I will probably go for a walk at some point in those woods there, because it's just, it's stunning. Absolutely stunning. You're breathing all the fresh air. Mind you, it's a bit like that here. So looking forward to that, and I'll tell you all about it on the next show, because this is the last show while I'll be up there. And then by the time, when you get the next show, which is in couple of days' time, that's all it is, I will have been at my sister's for 3 or 4 days, and I shall tell you all about it there. All right, my darlings. Now, as well as that new gadget that's waiting for me up there, as I mentioned a moment ago, I bought this new light, which is right above me. Now, it's not a professional video light or anything like that. I went down the DIY store and I had a look in there, and it's a workman's light. Now, it's a big square thing. I'm just going to try once again to show this to you, but I've got a feeling this isn't going to work. Just a minute. Now, there's the window there. Now, can you... you can. Oh, it does work. Right above you there is a light. Now, it actually... On the pic, can you see my plant there? Oh, there's the flowers again. There's the flowers. Okay, you've never... Now, can you see outside my window all the trees and that? Isn't it beautiful? Look. Beautiful trees out there. And as you can see, I didn't lie to you. If you look at the clock, it's just coming up to 5 to 2 in the afternoon on a Saturday here. Because, of course, this is one I prepared earlier. There's the old mirror ball, which isn't turning today. Oh, there's no point in having it turning if you're not looking at it, is there? I'm trying to reposition the camera in different places each time that you join me for the shows. Anyway, this light is kind of a workman's light that I've managed to purchase from one of the DIY stores, and it's actually much brighter in my eyes than it looks than it looked to you when I just showed you then. It's a square thing, and it's a fluorescent one. I think it's 42 watts, so it's quite a high one. They did have the 1,000-watt jobs one. I know. The thought of plugging one of those in, dear, and having my electricity meter buzzing away, the thing will probably take off. You know, if I plug in a couple of those lights, the whole things will take off. So what I've done is positioned it. I had a look on the internet about where one should position lighting and all that sort of thing. And it seems to be that it's got to be just above your head and tilted downwards. So that's what I've done. I've also got the main light on in the room, because while I was having a little look around the internet, because I'm always looking at how to improve things. Now, sound-wise, doesn't need to be improved. I mean, we got there a long time ago. But then that's, I am a sound person. Well, when I say a sound person, I don't mean as in sorted. Sorted, mate, all right? We're a sound person, innit? I know about sound. Know quite a lot about sound because I've been playing with it for years and years. Since I was a little boy, actually. Oh, yeah, I used to be upstairs in my bedroom about and I'm about 14 years old, pulling apart record players and twisting bits of wire together and adding more speakers. Technical people will know what I mean when I say I used to have, 10 speakers attached to the thing, and then, of course, then the amplifier would break down because the impedance got too high and stuff like that. But video-wise, this is all relatively new to me. We're still on just a little webcam here. But I did see on the internet, and one of my friends told me, with video, as much light as you can. So that's what I've done. I bought this light. It wasn't expensive. It was about £39. So that's, I don't know, what, 70 odd dollars, nearly $80, something like that. And it's, as I say, it's an energy saving one. It's only 42 watts and it is very bright. If I can't really look at that for a long time because I get the black dots in your eyes. You always get that, didn't you, when you look at something bright for a while? So there we are. Whether or not this improves the picture or two, won't know until I finish the video. So you see what you think. And do let me know if you think it looks any different at all, or whether I've just wasted £39. Okay? If you want to know where to find the video, once again, as always, go to the main United Kingdom Talk website. That's at united.kingdomtalk.co.uk. united.kingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, talking of bright things, how fabulous the other night, I came home from work. I think it was Monday night after the Bingay. There's a website from that as well, okay? Bingay.com, Bingay.com, okay? Bingay.com every Monday night at the Golden Lion. Parking my car. So I've put the car in the garage, locked the door, and as I came out, whoosh, straight across the sky in front of me, a beautiful shooting star. Isn't that lovely? Aren't they nice? Shooting stars. Don't see many of them. I remember once I think I was in Italy. And I'd met up with this person there. We were on a holiday, which was brilliant. Absolutely. Now, where was it? On Tirano, I think it was, in Italy somewhere. So, me and this bloke were sitting on one of those... What are those sun loungers, which had been left on the... No, it wasn't actually a beach. It was like a bit of grass. So you got a bit of grass, some rocks, and then the sea. And me and him were sitting on this thing, and we were having a pizza together, which was quite nice, in the middle of the night. We're talking like 1 o'clock in the morning here. And we sat there and laid back and looked up in this sky. And it takes a while to notice things moving. But there's an awful lot of movement up there. We saw, I think, 2 or 3 shooting stars in the pace of about half an hour. And also quite a lot of satellites. Now, you've got to have, I think, reasonably good eyesight to see satellites. A difference, if you didn't know already, between a shooting star and a satellite. Well, a shooting star goes whoosh. Shooting stars are, of course, bits of rock that are floating around in space all the time. There's probably bits of, one day there might be bits of me floating around in space. Wouldn't that be quite nice? Can you imagine that? I'll be up there in space, keeping an eye on everyone, making sure they're all right. Maybe if I ever get up into space like that, I could be fitted with external loudspeakers so that I can continue doing my broadcasts to the world. Is that not a good idea? Oh, well, please yourselves. Anyway, so up in the sky, that's a shooting star. Now, satellites are the man-made things that are put up there, and they move very, very slowly, ever so slowly. And if you ever, you've got to watch for a while to be able to spot a satellite, because they're not particularly bright. I think, well, I'm not sure. I think it all depends whether they're facing the sun or... I'm not quite sure how that works. Now, the easiest thing to see was, of course, Skylab. Do you remember Skylab? Is that still up there? Or did it come down? Hang on, let me have a quick look. Oh, hang on, I can't do that now, can I? Oh, it's funny, I always mean to leave my internet browser open and I forget. If I do it now, the sound might jump, so I can't do that now. Yeah, do you remember Skylab? I think I saw that going over a couple of times. I mean, you don't see the shape or anything like that. Just this like bright, almost like a bright star going over, or in the case of a satellite, a dim star, and it moves very, very slowly. And you can often follow it right the way, obviously if there's no clouds, you can often follow this thing right the way across the sky, very, very slowly. It's amazing. You'll have to do that next time you're outside, as long as it's not particularly cold. If you're lucky enough to have a garden or something like that, then just lay on your back. It's very, very difficult to do it in town because it's so bright. You've got to be out in the country somewhere or by the seaside. It's a good place to spot would be, I suppose, over the sea, wouldn't it? Because there's no lights over there. And just look up in the sky and see how many moving objects you can actually see. One of those objects, of course, could be me in my Tooth Fairy outfit, as supplied by Suko. And by the way, Suko, bless me, Suko, for I have sinned. To the tune of, last night, 1 bag of Monster Munch. Was that all I had? Oh, and, yeah, no, that's all. Oh, 1 cheese and onion pasta. No, not cheese and onion pasta, yes. 1 bag of Monster Munch last night, Suko. It's not bad, is it? I've had no chocolate now for a few days, which I'm very proud of. And 1 bag of Walker's baked crisps. Bless me, Suko, for I have sinned. All right. Talking of Fridays, because last night, of course, for me was Friday. I don't know if I've mentioned to you before, I actually do 2 gigs on Friday nights. The first is at my mate's pub, Justin, the Steam Coach in Hemel Hempstead. And we're doing a karaoke and DJ disco night there now every Friday. It was just a disco night for about 2 years, actually. It must be coming on 3 years now I've worked with him. Yeah, it must be coming on 3 years. And we've recently introduced the karaoke in there as well. And it works very well. Really good last night. There are 3 particularly good singers there. There's Vic, who's a big bloke, I suppose, probably a little bit younger, round about the same age as me. There's John, and Vic does stuff like Mustang Sally. There's John, he does tunes like American Trilogy, you know that one? Long, long time ago, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and all that. No, was that American Pie, wasn't it? Sorry, I've got that wrong. American Trilogy. Oh, I wish I was a da-da-da-da. Dixieland, is it? You know that one that Elvis does. He does that. And there's another lady there called Lynn. And apparently she's going in a karaoke competition actually next Thursday. So by the time you've seen this, she would have finished that. And she does some nice songs as well. Now, what did she do last night? I'm just trying to think now. She might have done something by the Sugar Babes. Or Whole Again, Atomic Kitten. I can't remember what she did now, actually. But yeah, and 3 particularly good singers. There was another couple of lads a couple of weeks ago. Rob, who's a regular in there. He's a fireman. That's a job, innit, eh? A fireman, putting your life at risk for other people. Wow. So full marks to him. And his mate Lee, and they came and sung 2 songs a couple of weeks ago. Oh, they were dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. The pair of them were just shouting in the microphone. And they're great lads. They're absolutely great lads. And Rob's got a lovely girlfriend who used to work behind the bar there, but she's now training to be a teacher, I think. But they sang, oh, it was awful, dear. Absolutely awful. I'm not much better, to be honest. So that's working out very well. Now, after I finish that, see, I do 8 to 12 there, and then I drive to Brighton and do 2 to 5. Now, I'm okay when I leave the Steam Coach. By the way, if you're ever around the Hemel Hempstead area, do come along. It's a family pub, although there are no children allowed in there after, I think, 7 o'clock, so you've got to be over 18 after that. But it's every Friday night. The Steam Coach in St John's Road, Boxmoor, Hemel Hempstead. And it's just fantastic. And if you do come down, you've never been there before, okay, please come up and say hello. It's always lovely when people come up and say hello. And of course, I will push you to the front of the queue. Don't worry about that. You are very special to me, you know that. Pop down there. You can bring mums, dads, if you've got any older children, teenagers, sort of above, I think it's above 18 anyway, above 18 or 21, one of the two. Come along and sing us a song. Friday nights between 8 p.m. and 12 midnight. Now, I finish show at 12 midnight. I'm in the car by 10 past 12 and I drive to Brighton. And that's all fine. Okay, so I get to Brighton and I start work. That's 2 to 5. The thing is, by 3 o'clock, I start getting very, very tired. By 4 o'clock, it's even worse. Now, the problem is with the place in Brighton, there's two problems. Number one, it's the time. It's very, very late. Number two, the DJ box. You are in a DJ box there, and it is the smallest, most uncomfortable DJ box I have ever worked in. You're like that. There's no room to stretch your legs, so you have to keep getting up and walking around, and you just want to sit there, really, to be honest. Now, everything else is fantastic in there. The governor is great. The bar staff are fantastic. The customers are a good laugh. And I really don't know what to do because I finished it and I am so tired. I am so tired. And then I get back here. And then by the time I've gone to bed and woke up again, you've lost half the day. I say half the day. I suppose I only get up a couple of hours later than I would normally do in the week. Well, I do. I get up about an hour and a half, 2 hours later than I would do in the week. But I'm so tired. So now, okay, now is Saturday afternoon. I only got up a couple of hours ago after sleeping for 5 hours. And I feel, at the moment, I feel a little bit tired. And I'm not sure what to do. I mean, Justin... He is funny. I love him. Love Justin at the steam coach. He says, well, it's up to you. He says, it's not exactly gonna make you bankrupt if you stop doing it, is it? Well, no, it won't. But on the other hand, we spoke about this before, haven't we? I mean, how many of you don't let anything go? I don't. I don't like to let anything go. That's my problem. Always has been. I've got an attic full of rubbish upstairs. Well, not so much an attic, more of a roof space. You can't stand up in it. Full of old CDs. And they have sat there for 10, 15 years in boxes. They are never going to get played again, are they? It's all on the computer, all MP3. And it's the same with this Brighton job, which I really enjoy it. It's all right. There's no problem. No one gives me a problem. The staff are fantastic. Governor, great. But it's just the time. And getting home so late and... Oh, I don't know what to do about that one. I really don't. I won't lie, you know, every time I finish here and drive home, I say to myself, I'm going to have to ring the governor tomorrow and tell him I'm sorry. You know, we're going to call this quits. But I almost feel ungrateful that someone's given me a job and I'm saying thanks a lot but no more. I do. I feel ungrateful. He's never done anything to me. Never complained once. Never moans. Never. One of the best governors. Really. His name's Dean. Lovely bloke. And ran about the same age as me as well. Maybe that's why. I don't know. And Justin as well. Fantastic person to work for. Just leaves you alone. Get on with the job. That's it. I mean, what more can you ask for? But the only thing is the time. The time and that ever so cramped DJ box. It's just so uncomfortable in there. I mean, of course, it's got a lot better in all the pubs since we stopped the smoking. So, I mean, that is a good thing. I'm not sure what to do. What do you reckon, eh? Can you give me your advice on that one? Can you help little old Chris? I won't make any contact with the pub for a couple of weeks. All right, I'll carry on. Excuse me. I'll carry on doing it for a while, and I'll await your comments on that one. See what you think. Should I just force myself to carry on doing it? See, I always worry that if you give up one job, they'll all start going down like dominoes. That worries me incredibly. But that has worried me for the last 25 years. I very, very rarely give up a job. I also very, very rarely give up a job in favour of another one. Unless I'm really fed up with somewhere, like I was at the pub back in September. Really had enough there. So I went, that's it. But I don't usually leave places. What do you reckon? What should I do? Shall I carry on? Shall I carry on and maybe try and get a bit of extra sleep on a Friday afternoon? See, maybe that's half the problem as well, the Friday afternoon. Now, I kind of earmark 2.5 to 3 hours sleep on a Friday afternoon before I have the long Friday night session. But it never happens, and I always end up having maybe an hour and a half. Because I keep doing things on the Friday. It's mad, isn't it? I need to be a bit more strict with myself as well. Maybe I could whip myself occasionally when I'm a naughty boy. Not sure what to do. What do you reckon? Let me know. Email address of the programme is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. All right, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, I said to you right at the beginning of the programme, I've got all these things written down here. And we won't get through half of them. And we've only got through 2 of them. I have to tell you, and I hope you're not too squeamish, one of the cats, Katie, the young one, she's the black and white one. No, not the black and white, she's the brown and white one. One of the cats kindly brought me in a little gift last week, a dead bird. Oh, I felt sorry for the bird. I really did. I thought, oh, is it alive? And I kind of poked it a little bit with a dustpan and brush. And it didn't move. Poor little bird. And the cat's sitting there looking at me saying, there you go, governor. Oh, it ain't nice, is it? But you can't tell cats off for doing that. They are bringing you food, aren't they? So it's a bit different with dogs, really. Dogs don't really bring you any food, do you? By the time they've got it into the house, they've eaten it. And cats, they just bring the bird in, dump it down at your feet, and off they trot with the towels in the air. Aren't they funny? They are so funny, cats. Anyway, so that's my cat news. Now we're going to do some emails. First of all, a couple from our friend Wayne Anonymous, who says, "Hello, Chris. This story was just too cute not to share. A group of teenagers were touring Fenway Park, which is Boston's open-air baseball stadium in the States, when a red-tailed hawk spotted a girl with long, perfect for nesting material. Hair. The pictures tell the rest of the story." Excuse me. And he did send him pictures of this hawk flying down and grabbing the girl's hair. He obviously wanted a little bit of it to make a nest out of. A strange thing, there we are. And Wayne also writes in, and this is a letter of complaint, I'm afraid, boys and girls. Usually letters of complaint end up on toilet roll for later use, but I shall read this one. Christopher Archibald Reardon. Where did you get Archibald? Oh, you're mentioning that thing on my head again, aren't you? You're so cruel to me, people. You really are very cruel. Keep mentioning the little bits and pieces that upset me. Go on, carry on, carry on. You don't care. When this camera goes off and the sound is switched off, I go in that bedroom and cry on my own. I really do. Now stop it. Christopher Archibald Reardon, he goes on to say, had I not checked my other email, I might not have noticed that you disposed of the air conditioning control board a couple of months ago. Yes, I did. I had problems with the air conditioner. A man came out, said I needed a new board. 2 weeks later, put a new board in. £300 odd. $600 to fix this blooming thing for a little computer board. What a rip-off. What a rip-off. However, it was done, and he left the old board, which I duly chucked out. What I missed was Wayne's email a few weeks before asking me to send him the board because he wanted to check it out. Wayne goes on to say, were we not separated by the pond, i.e. the Atlantic Ocean, I would have... Is that a lovely word? Atlantic Ocean. Doesn't that sound nice? Do you think? There's certain words I like. Tripod. Atlantic. I have got a tripod, incidentally. Blooming hard to carry that round about when you're on your bike with your camera, though. He said, were we not separated by the pond, the Atlantic Ocean, I would arrange to borrow Madame Aries' large purse. Now, Madame Aries is a lady who does a show with my friend James Dean, the matineeshow.co.uk, or matineeshow.co.uk, I think it is. He said, to borrow Madame Aries' large purse, show up on your karaoke night and sing It's Raining Men, while chasing around you the stage to escape a good bashing with a purse. Or you want to bash me with a purse? I don't mind being bashed with a wet lettuce leaf. I mean, I do dream of one day waking up, rushing out into the garden, and some person running around the garden after me with a wet lettuce leaf. He says, oh, wait a minute, I have not checked your MySpace or Facebook page yet. You probably like that kind of public display. Yes, I do. I told Suko you hurt your head when you fell off your bicycle. You had the best place, your name on the waiting list for a brain transplant. Not a good idea, brain. You see, trouble is, and no one seems to realise this, if you have a brain, the brain is you. Just think, Wayne. If I had your brain, I would become you in my body. I don't want anyone else in my body, thank you very much. Stop it. In the Young Frankenstein movie, they had a brain depository, and Igor brought back a brain that may be compatible with yours. The brain was labelled AB normal. No, I don't think that's going to be any good for me. Good thing the neighbourhood pub is closed at this hour, because you have driven me to drink, mutter mumble cursed Radzifras. He threw the blasted boards in the trash bin. A gulp, gulp, moose. A nonny. I'm sorry about that. You see, I do gather things, Anonymous. I do actually gather things quite a lot, and now and again I look at all these things I've gathered and eventually I chuck them out. You just can't keep holding on to all this stuff all the time. So thanks for that, Anonymous. Thank you to Catalin. We haven't seen on the forums for a while, but she's put a little note on one of the YouTube messages and said, please carry on being my ray of sunshine. So thank you for that, Catalin. Nice to hear from you. I was a little bit worried because we hadn't heard from you for a while, my darling. But you're still there, aren't you? Yes. As is our friend Ivona in Slovakia, who writes, hello, I love the way Ivona writes, because she's still learning English. Hello, my baby love. Hi, my choochie Chrissy. Choochie Chrissy? You're having a laugh, aren't you, dear? Choochie. Thanks for the song for me. I am happy. Yes, I am very happy, Chrissy. I'm waiting every next your show. I'll read it exactly as it's written. And baby, please excuse me, yes, I know my English language is terrible. It doesn't matter, my darling. We understand what you're saying. You just learn and take it at your own pace, all right? But I don't shame for this. Chrissy, I tell you something. My big top secret. Only for you. If you don't want, you can read this out for your listeners. I am fetish. Yes, especially socks fetish. Very dirty, very stinking socks. Of course, only the... Have I read this before? I'm sure I've read this before. It doesn't matter. Oh, of course, only the man's socks for whom I love. For me, this is very sexy. Yes, I know this is terrible. What are you thinking about this? Right now, I'm cooking. You know what? Rice with vegetables and chicken. Oh, that sounds nice. Baby, I wish you a nice weekend. I'm thinking of you. Please take care. I feel for you. Bye now. I love you. From Ivona. Thank you, Ivona. Now, Ivona, do you want me to send you a pair of my used socks? Would you like that, my darling? Eh? Would you sleep with them under your pillow? This could be a whole new type of thing, couldn't it? You often see radio hosts and other celebrity-type people sending out pictures of themselves, signed autographed pictures, maybe pens, mugs, mouse mats, that sort of thing. How about I start a whole new thing of sending out worn presenters' socks? The trouble is, would my socks then end up on eBay? And indeed, how much would they fetch? And how disappointed and unhappy would I be if no one sold them? Just a thought. Ivona, do you want a pair of... Yes, I'm not sending you socks for the post. My God. Can you imagine that? As the socks come through customs at the other end, the sniffer dogs would go mad, wouldn't they? They'd go mad. They'd go mad, these sniffer dogs, if my socks were coming through the post, eh? Hello to Jason. Hello, Jason. He said, just had a few thoughts while listening to your latest show. Thanks for mentioning about the quiz show. Would you be able to send me? So I've sent him some stuff there. And Jason also mentions there's a new station coming on involving most of the old people that were on another station that was on. Will I be doing a show for them? The thing is, Jason, my time is just... You know what I'm like with time. I've barely got time to breathe most of the time. And I can't really take anything extra on. However, I have offered the station in question the two shows that I do, this programme as well as the music mix show I do, which you can find at... Where can you find that one? Oh, yeah, that's on my main website, chrisreardon.co.uk. All right, that's my main website, chrisreardon.co.uk. On the left-hand side, you'll see Beat Match. Click on that, and that will take you through to my music show, which is just basically non-stop music. I say hello at the beginning of the show. I tell you the list of records coming up. I play the records, and then I say goodbye at the other end. So that's how that all works, all right? So, Jason, yes, I've offered them the two shows that I do. But apart from that, no, I don't think I'll be able to do anything else. I'd quite like to do a live chat show, but again, it's everything has to fit in. You know, you've got to fit in your time with schedules and all this business. But there we are. Okay, say hi to Doug in Akeley. Hello, sir. We were talking about ham radio a little while ago. Something that I've never done. I did think about doing it when I was much younger, not a child, when I was younger. But I was put off by the amount of exams and what have you had to pass, including, I believe, here in the UK, you had to do the Morse code and all that. The only Morse code I know is 3 dots, 3 dashes, and 3 dots, and it's SOS. Doug says, hi, Chris. Here in the States, the FCC, which is like the people that look after their airwaves and all that sort of thing, has eliminated Morse code testing for all classes of hams. You just have to take a written exam. Now, this is of interest to me. I have a technician class license. It lets me use all ham bands. This is like amateur radio. Not amateur radio as in broadcasting. Amateur radio as in talking to each other, like on a radio receiver, yeah? It lets me use all ham bands above 50 megahertz and a new section 10 meter band for single sideband between 28.3 and 28.5 megahertz, along with some other coverage for RTTY and data. You're starting to lose me here, to be honest, Dougie. And probably Joy as well. The other two licensed classes are general and extra. And he goes on to tell me a little bit about the equipment he used. He says, I got my licence back in 2003 when I was unemployed, had plenty of time to study. And he tells me some of the equipment that he has. He says, just don't know much about what's going on in the ham world right now because we don't use it much. Took the test mostly to prove to myself that I could do it. Truth be known, I liked talking on the CB a lot more, CB radio, which we discussed a while ago, didn't we? And with my living situation, now I'm renting a bedroom in a house, don't have a lot of room for doing a lot of radio stuff. And now that you don't need to know code to get your general class, I should sit down and study sometime instead of wasting my time looking at cute people on the internet. We all do that, don't we? We look at all these cute people that we can't get hold of. Oh, come off it. Yes, you do. Don't lie to me. Even the married ones. I've seen you do it. I can see what you're doing, you know. I've got cameras in all your houses. I'm watching. You forget this is the UK. We are surrounded by cameras here. We are surrounded by cameras here. Oh, the latest thing. Oh, you haven't heard the latest thing. You know what they want to do now? They want to use video cameras to fine people for throwing rubbish out of their car. Yes. I heard this on the radio the other night. They're already using cameras now for parking fines. Now they want to use them for catching people throwing rubbish out of the car, which is something I think is disgusting, people that do that. You see cigarette ends and all that coming out, which is all wrong. But cameras everywhere. I'm fed up to the life of it. The only camera I want is this little one I'm talking to you on. Oh, look at the time. We're nearly out of time. He says, and that's how I found you one day. I was Googling for dance mixes and you came up and now he watched it and now he's with us on the talk show as well. And he sent me a little link here, which I'm going to have a look at on the Wikipedia. He says, damn, they've got a wiki for everything. Am I on Wikipedia? I haven't looked. Can someone tell me if I'm on the Wikipedia? Chris, been enjoying reading about your About Me section on your webpage. You're very cool. Thank you very much, Doug. It's nice of you to say that. And there we are. Time to go, boys and girls. Next time I see you and chat to you, I will have been at my sister's and I'll tell you all about it. Email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you on the next show. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.